Right. So, I'm setting up, since this something bunkum, this is kind of the hybrid something bunkum. Um, I'm trying to figure out good names for these things. This would be called Podcast Angst because I think usually I'm just going to be bitching. Uh, Computer, yeah. We'll get to these in a second. But what this is right now is it's a little bit of a behind the scenes. As promised, this is going to be what the live stream on Sunday is going to be like. And as you can see, I do have some control over being able to pop things up like so. I'm using the software OBS. So, yep, there you go. For right now, I'm going to hit this at about 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go get some dinner. But you're going to see me setting this up for the live cast or live stream. I don't really know if there's a difference between the two. Let's find out since, I have you all on here. Right, so what these things are, these are gunner interceptors. I should probably do a something bunkum actual episode about them. But they're for reading screens. Actually, let me do that really quick. Interceptors. Glasses? Intercept glasses. Yeah. I got these a while ago. I got them back when I was in China, and they were pretty good. Yeah, blue light blocking glasses, computer glasses, intercept. They're about $50. Oh, shit. They're like $70 now. These things are really cool. They don't make you look like a tool bag, which is nice. Buffalo trays. And they really help me, although it does seem like my face is crooked. Huh. Who knew? Anyway, so if you have night shift on your phone or your computer, I think maybe that's only on Apple products. I don't know if it's on Android or not. But night shift, it kind of makes your screen orange. Well, what it's doing is it's removing the blue band or limiting the blue band of color that your phone, the backlit part of your phone is shining at you. And that blue light is pretty high wavelength, so it kind of hurts your eyes. And for those of us who have photophobia, which is not the fear of light, but it's light sensitivity, blue light will murder your brain. It feels like you're getting like daggers stabbed in your head. Well, if you do any kind of web development, or you're online a lot, or you're just typing on a computer a lot, you get eye fatigue, and then you're constantly looking at that screen, even with a blue light filter, like night shift or whatever it's called. Your eyes start getting wonky. So if you have problems with migraines or something, the point is you can get these puppies, and they've got a little bit of a yellow tint to them. I think you can get a pair that have no tint, and they're just for limiting screen reflection. But these actually, that yellow will actually filter out not ultraviolet, but purplish and blue light. I believe the way that works, although I don't know really the science behind it. I know the art behind it. Actually, maybe I'm totally wrong about that now. Now that I say that, I just realize I'm wrong. Anyway, what I was going to say was, whatever color you have, it's kind of the opposite color that is negated. And in pigment, yellow and purple are opposites. But in light, that is not the case. Huh. Let me think about the color wheel. Because you have red, green, blue for light. Those are primary colors. And in pigments, it's red, yellow, blue. And then you mix pigments together like red and yellow, you get orange for pigments. For light, it's the other way around. Or actually, it's not the other way around. It's totally different. So it's actually cyan, which is the bluish, magenta, which is the reddish, and then yellow. No, it's green. What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm totally wrong. Cyan, magenta, and yellow are printing, so that's pigments. That's right. Red, green, blue is RGB, that's light. So where is yellow in all of that? Let me think about my color wheel. You got red up here, you got blue down here. This is weird because it's backwards. Red, blue. Why don't I just look it up? I just look it up. Light color wheel. Yes, of course. So I was right in a weird way. Everything you know about color is probably wrong. Great. That is totally true for me. This is what I'm looking for. So you got yellow and blue. There you go. So this yellow is going to cancel out the opposite color, blue. Bam. There we go. So that does make sense. And then the opposite of red is, I guess that's cyan. Green is magenta. This is totally wild. Like you mix red and green, you get yellow. You mix magenta and cyan, you get blue, I think. Anyway, wow. So that's these guys. They're really cool. You can get, let me see, the different tints. So like there's amber, these kind of clear. Mine are the 65s, I guess. And the 98s are probably just for, even more light filtering. There's another thing is, they have a, what do you call it? Not enlargement, magnifying property. So there's like a focal point your eyes normally have if you have 20/20 vision or corrected to 20/20. It's like out here, right? You can't see that. It's like, I don't even know how far that away that is. Someone who knows what they're talking about can look it up or tell me. But the idea is these change the focal point to where your eyes, when you're looking at a screen, about 2 feet away, or what is that? 100 centimeters is a meter, so like 70 centimeters or so, 75 centimeters. It changes it to where your eyes can look at a screen and read, and it's less tension on your eyes. You can kind of use them as driving glasses as well, but I don't know. Actually, because of that magnification, it kind of messes with you a little bit. So, let me see. All right, so that's the gunner glasses. That's the light wheel. This is the bourbon. Bourbon, Buffalo Trace, it's the bound. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of setup here. Right now I'm sitting on my knees, which is not comfortable at all. Tomorrow I'll have Ben or Bad over, and we'll be hanging out. How you doing? We'll be hanging out doing game talk, which will be pretty cool. That is part of my discussions. So something Buncombe discussions. And the whole idea will have either remote or an actual in-person guest. And we're going to chat it up. I'm kind of trying to pull a bit of a jury-rigged, lo-fi Joe Rogan thing. Without any of the fame or hilarity. That actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, bam. If I'm going to have that, see, I'm using my table, obviously, so I get this downward angle. If I'm going to have that corner, I'd like it to be something kind of cool. If you're wondering, this is the plugged-in LED lights. The SD little light set. And you've got some gels on it and such. These things. And I want to say it's in a previous Something Buncombe. So anyway, yeah, where does Something Buncombe go from here if I'm going to do live streams? The thing is, I want to continue doing Something Buncombe episodes because they're a lot of fun, and I can do certain things with them that I cannot do with this, obviously. Actually, let me change this little deal here. So you have something else to look at other than two of me. I'm not really sure, I don't know, what to do with that. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll throw down the tomato timer, which is the Pomodoro thing that I mentioned before. Boom, 10 minutes. And that will ding when this is kind of done. This is going to be a short episode since I've already posted a Something Bunkum podcast. I don't even know what to call it. Something Bunkum is the channel. Originally, it was the actual show. I realized it should just be called the channel because no one can remember Trois Reblay Productions. Because it's not English and it's not even French. Right. Got a fan going. I've actually been using my my fill light as the light in this room because I just like that white light so much better. Otherwise, you get this, and I actually that's way better for video. But it's a lot harsher on my eyes. Maybe it's just better with these on, and that's what it is. Huh. Let's see. Oh, you can see the fan going. That actually might be annoying. I don't know. If someone's on here, tell me if that voop, 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 voop is annoying or not. That would annoy the shit out of me. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. With these on, light just doesn't bother me as much. I'll tell you what it's like, having photophobia. If it's going off really bad, it's like what I said before. It's like knives getting stuck into your brain. Like it feels like a headache, but it's not like a sinus headache, and it's not a migraine. It could cause a migraine. It's more like when you're really tired or something, you get that behind the eye feeling, except right here. That's what it's like. And then before it gives you a headache, if you've ever seen like fog, or it's like really, really, really humid outside during the day, and there's that kind of haze. Like there's so much water molecules, water vapor in the air that the light is kind of diffused, and it's actually like the visibility is actually lower because it's so humid, right? There's too many particles in the air. That's what it's like with the wrong kind of light. So when I take these off and look in here, if I were to turn off this fill light, it would become obviously way darker. But the light over the overhead light, that orange, I guess it's a fluorescent. Actually, it might be an incandescent. Anyway, it's like it's providing light, but it's like I can almost see like the shadows or the dark places in the room, like in the air, like that haze is there, and that starts to make my eyes work harder. And I think what it is it's just that band of light, like my brain, like my eyeball sees it, my brain's like, no, it just shuts it down. I don't know. Anyway, this makes it a lot better. Okay, so I'm gonna break out this dude. This is my handy dandy little light fixture. And again, what I'm doing is, this is the newer light stand that I was talking about before. What I'm doing is setting up for tomorrow. That game talk, which is the title I gave. It's SB Something Bunkum Discussions. The topic is tabletop RPGs with Bad. That's the guest. And he and I created a tabletop RPG 8 years ago. We finished version 1 in 2017. Did nothing with it. Because at that time a lot of crap was going on, and I bounced and he did stuff. And when I got back from China this last time, my buddy Jeff McNeil, who also made a system, he and I had sort of revived Dreadlord, that game, and we started version 2, which I called Dreadlord Relapse. Get it? Anyway, so Ben and I have been doing copy editing on that book, and the plan is to have that motherfucker done in December. And then never talk about it again. Which, of course, we will talk about it again. But it'll be so great to have that, like, the book's finished, it's copy edited, and then I can actually focus on promoting it, running it, of course, getting people to play it, and actually, I mean, we're past beta testing, honestly, but to beta test and really give us feedback. And then we've gone to cons with it, but go to cons, Comic Cons and that shit. When of course all of that opens back up. Sell some cool T-shirts, some dice, do some giveaways, and actually focus on art and all the good. Actually, just speaking of Dreadlord, because I've been doing it for 7-8 years, and I like synergy. I like to do things that are connected. So if I'm doing this, for instance, I'm doing this live cast, I want to be doing something for the cast tomorrow as well. One of the things I did with that world building for Dreadlord was I started writing short stories. So I wrote, I think it's technically a novella or a novelette. I'm not sure which one it is. It's right around 18 to 20,000 words. And I have a series of those that I need to copy, edit, and probably self-publish. But imagine if you know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, the Forgotten Realms books, like the Dritz books and stuff. It's that kind of thing. Okay, let me go grab a little nub for this guy. In the meantime, you can check out the map. Irie. So, bam, this dude. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about the idea of doing live streams. I don't know how many people are going to be, just jumping on. But the plan is to have a whole bunch of people, because I would really like there to be a community that's built around something bunkum. We'll see if that's actually something that occurs. Jacob Woosley, howdy. I'm on my phone, so barely notices. Yo, dude. Yeah, so Jacob just jumped on. I think, actually, I can pop this on the OBS real quick. Yeah, there it goes. Sweet, it did it automatically. Right, so Jacob is one of the veteran Dreadlord players, as well as several other things. And you actually, so Jacob, you seeing this, these live casts or live streams, they're recorded on YouTube, so eventually other people will see it, hopefully. And I'm going to tell them who you are. Jacob Woosley, he is the imposter blacksmith. If you check out Something Bunkum, the episodes, specifically the Fire series, Into the Forge, it's all about him and showing, what he does, which is really cool stuff. And he's played in many of our Dreadlord games, contributed heavily to the book, and as well as, D&D and a bunch of other games. And we need to have some fire pit time over here, Jacob. Casey, who is the special lady friend, she just cleared out most of the brush in the back. So there's like a space for the fire pit, and before it gets... Dude, the summer is over. What is going on? Like, I guess it's because of the mayhem that has been 2020 that, I feel like I didn't do summer things, like summer type stuff. And so I looked at, the calendar, it's September, mid-September, or nearly. The equinox is coming up. And, I feel like, where did the summer go? So that is wild. We need to get some fire pits on. ASAP, right? I just said ASAP. So when I got this newer light, it came with these huge light bulbs, big old light bulbs. And of course, because I'm who I am, I keep everything in the box. But check out this thing. Boom. Like, this is my hand. This thing is enormous. This is a CFL. It's got mercury in it. But apparently, Ooh, my time just went up. But apparently, the wattage on these is pretty close to LEDs. So like an LED will actually use less wattage for the same amount of lumens as a normal incandescent or like especially like a tungsten light. These CFLs will save almost as much. So granted, if you break them, then there's mercury. Yeah. So you know, Jacob, there is a delay on the chat that I think is just implemented. It's either implemented by YouTube or it's just the stream needs to be encoded and stuck in the tubes or something. But it's about an 8-10 second delay, just so you know. Let me check it. Good weather for the fires, though. Austin, yeah, it went to bed too quick. Yeah, no joke. We had some good fires. It was pretty good. Actually, like, I'm pretty sure every time I went over to Jacob's, into his forge to either climb, chill out, watch the forge or whatever, I would say 4 out of 5 times we had a fire, like rain or shine. It was pretty epic. And the hope is to not only have more fire pits, of course, but actually do some stuff to do some filming out there. I had this idea, which I spoke to Jacob about, for doing a kind of like a music video with Vikings. Both Jacob and I are in a Viking stunt group, and actually Ben is in it as well. And so we're kind of into that lore, and we throw it into like games and Wright stores and shit. But I thought it'd be really cool to take one of my songs for Bill Buncombe solo or whatever I'm calling it, and have a music video and kind of a stereotypical thing where it'd be like, you see like the Viking dude going through the forest, right, arming up, right, and then like he sneaks up on the bad guys who are around the fire, or like the witch or something, who's around the fire, and then there's an encounter, whichever way it goes. Maybe the witch like casts a spell on him, and he's like, oh, I see the light. Or maybe hacks her head off or whatever. Yeah, hopefully we'll be filming a little bit out there. Maybe doing some murder mysteries. You know what I'm saying? Right, so this is almost finished. Jacob, since you just jumped in, I am essentially setting up for tomorrow. Ben and I are going to do Game Talk, which is another live stream, which if you're free, jump on. We'll start it at 7 o'clock. I'm thinking I'm always going to start these around 7. And if it's just me, it'll probably be maybe 10 to 30 minutes or something. If it's an actual discussions, so like what will happen tomorrow, then we'll go for probably 2 hours, maybe 3. You're welcome to come on, do exactly what you're doing, chat away, or follow along in the book and actually help us copy edit the Dreadlord book if you wish. We do about maybe 40% actual copy editing, and the rest we're talking about games and riffing about stuff, and so it's quite a bit of fun. And Jacob and anyone who is interested in this, if you want to be a guest on one of the discussions, you just jump on Zoom or whatever, and I can actually throw you on, and we can chat back and forth. I will deal with the streaming part of this. Yes. Check out this map. That's a nice map. All right. Boom. The umbrella. I probably should put it on in a second. So yeah, the reason for this umbrella, if you don't know, is this light, it's trying to get pretty near white light or true light. This is not true light, but it's trying to get to true light. True light is sunlight. I think it's 56K, 56,000. Lumens is not the right word. It's 56K. They use, K is not thousand, it's Kelvin. Is it Kelvin? I can't remember. Anyway, the point is, The higher that number, the more or the closer to true light it is. The lower it is, the warmer or more orange the light seems. Now I'm wondering what it is. I think K is Kelvin, but it might be 1,000. Because you talk about warm and cool light, and I believe they measure it actually by temperature. As in like, man, now I need to look that up. Hold on. I should know this. I know it functionally. I've forgotten the if, ands, and buts about it. So let me check that out really quick. So let me give myself another 10 minutes, and that won't be too long. Let's see. 56K light. Is that right? Light bulb. I'm not going to feel stupid if I'm totally wrong. Yeah, so 5,600K. So I think I was ish right. I want to say K is a temperature. How to measure light. What's a good word? How to ask this question? How to measure light color? Maybe. Or how about light bulb? There we go. It is Kelvin. Yes. All right, so what kind of equipment is needed to measure the color temperature of a light source, LED or other? Color temperature is a way to describe light appearance provided by a light bulb, measured in degrees Kelvin, from 1,000 to 10,000. Okay, so residential lighting is 2,000 to 6,500. And here we go. Light appearance, warm white, cool white, daylight. Daylight is between 4,600 and 6,500. So 56, whatever, that's ish. I like that cool white light. It's a little bit lower. I want to say this boy is around 5,056K, and that may be where I'm getting it. Yeah. Anyway, good weather for light, yeah. So the idea then is you want close to white daylight. Now, of course, you go outside in the morning, you go outside, in the afternoon, go outside in the evening. This is all daylight, but it's different temperatures, right? It's you get the golden hour, the blue hour, or actually in reverse, the blue hour, then the golden hour, then pure daylight, whatever. But actually, sunlight. So what's good about it? Well, because it's that white light, if it's at its fullest, then basically we can see the best. So of the spectrum of light that we can actually perceive, if you get that nice white daylight, you can perceive the most. It's that kind of idea. Now someone can correct me and go ahead, whatever. The problem with sunlight is, if it's directly overhead or near to, it's incredibly harsh. It's called hard light. And what that means is you're going to get shadows. Actually, I have this on. You're going to get really stark shadows that are all over the place. And you don't want that when you're filming. You want diffused shadows. And the way you do that is by using a diffuser like an umbrella. And this umbrella is specifically made for this. It's white. It comes with the newer set. You get this one. You get two stands like this. You get a smaller stand like this. It's not too tall. It's maybe, let's see how tall I can go. Because this is at its lowest setting. The light bulb is, this LED is sold separately, so you can't even see that. Okay. Right, so that's maybe 1.5 meters, so 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet. Anyway, so that's for exactly what I'm using it for. And then you get two of these bad boys, and these can go really high. The reason you want them high is because when you're doing 3-point lighting, so yeah, that's almost the ceiling. That's easily 2 meters. So That's not 6 feet. It's over 6 feet. It's probably 7 feet. So I don't know what that is in meters. I'm kind of guessing with it. The reason you want that is with a camera you want it eye level, which is not what I have going on. With light, you want it above you. And if the average person is between, maybe 5.5 feet to 6, 3, or 4, you need something that can go higher than them. That way you can control the shadows on their face so that they don't have a shadow like right here, like this or something. Instead, the shadow's maybe here, or it's just, you have more control. Okay. Now, to go back to this diffuser, I think I can actually show this, although it might blow out the camera on this, the white balance, if you will, or the exposure, I'm sorry. Boom. To give an example, yeah. So this will be bright AF. Boom, right, so that's bright, right? I'm going to move that off camera a little bit so it's not killing people. So that's hard light. And if you see, you can see my my shadow on the wall. You don't really want that. If you're far enough away, it's okay. But if you're close, you're going to get this weird, stark lighting, and it's all over the place, right? It's hard to keep control of that. And you get your camera, especially if it's on auto exposure, it'll change everything up really bad. Versus, boom, all I did was turn this light off, and it's actually clearer, like you can see me clearer. So with more light, you see me, it's a worse image. Less light, it's a better image. Obviously, that's not what's going on. What's going on is the camera is trying to compensate for the amount of light coming at it. So it's darkening here instead of, or it's darkening here relative to how much light is in the room. This diffuser causes it to be soft light because it diffuses the light. And what that does is the shadows are far less prominent. So let me see. And you just put this right up in here. You got to find the hole, stick it in. There's also, you can use umbrellas, you can use light boxes. If you've ever gone and had family photos taken, then you've had this experience. Let's see. I actually needed it the other way. Confounded. Confounded, damn it. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. So you can put this closer or further away, whatever. This would be more diffused because the light hits it further away. This is less diffused. Really, it's not going to make that big of a difference depending on the room you're in. Right. So, trying to maintain a camera angle on this thing while messing with a big, dude. Bam! Right. So that's far more diffused. If I move it off camera, I think. There we go. If I move it off camera, which is about the same location as it was before, and do this, you can't really see much of the shadows. You can see shadows if I get on it, but it's a far less harsh shadow. So let me move it as I did before to see if you get the shadows up here. This really harsh light right on my face. And see, you're not getting all that craziness, like haunted house look. So if I turn it off, right, here I am, hi, turn it on, it doesn't blow out the camera, like the exposure doesn't explode. Actually, it doesn't look horrible, it's not good. I need a light up there, which I will try in just a second. This episode, this livecast, has now become all about photography equipment. One thing I would prefer changed about these lights, these newer lights, that's newer with 2 E's, It's about $100. You get 2 large stands, 1 small one, 3 CFLs, the light bulbs, 3 of these guys, I guess light bulb holders, and 2 diffusers, umbrella diffusers. I think that's all you get. Oh, you get a cool carrying case. And actually the carrying case, I've used it extensively. And it fits nice. Like you can do a shoulder strap and just roll. One thing I would like to change, if I could, would be that it's wired. I would love the idea if it was wired and had the option for battery. That's what my SD LED light, this boy, has. I'm using it wired right now because I'm next to a wall. Why not? But it has a pretty good battery on it. Kind of takes a while to charge, but I mean, you can hit that battery up for a good 3-4 hours before it slowly starts dying. And you won't really notice it until you start editing, and you're like, why is the light different? Why do my scopes, the editing scopes, say that, oh, fuck. Yeah. Let me move this and show you. This is on this side. Ooh. See, again, if it had batteries, I wouldn't have to deal with this. So, this is too bright over here. You have way too much shadow on this side. If I move it on the other side and use it as what's called a fill light, it'll look a lot better. Or it should. But dodge this fan really quick. Woo-hoo. Right. Boom. Alright, so what I've done is I put this light, I've got key light, the main light, right here. It's maybe an arm's length away. And it could actually probably come a little closer. So to make sure I don't get whack the fan there. Right, that's okay. I'll turn off the fan light. So you have this. You got this rim light over here. That's that blue. And then, falling. Just changing an angle real quick. Bam. Right. There you go. So now I've taken care of that light. Wonder where. It's wild that it's reflecting the blue off of here. So I'm actually going to change the height of this fill light. It's a little bit further away. So the key light's about an arm's length. The fill is probably twice that length. But I've got it too low. I think it needs to be a little higher. Another thing that I would love to change, if I could, about this lighting scheme has to do with the light bulbs themselves. And this may be something, that's pretty good. This may be something that just has to do with the kind of light bulb that I have. But having a dimmable light, or at least a light that can change the temperature, maybe not even temperature. Yeah, I guess it would make sense. Having a temperature changeable, a changeable temperature, variable temperature changeable light bulb. If I could turn it down, if I could dim it, it'd make it a lot better. You can do that with the SD. For example, let's see, post it over here. You've got this cool dial right there that tells you this is 50%, and you can go all the way up to 100. And so I'll turn it. This is at 100 right now. So if I turn it all the way down, check out that blue light and how it changes. See? So this is all the way down to 10%. So it's just barely registering. You might not even be able to tell on your video, but like on editing software, it would definitely know that there's a difference here. So I like to keep it, I do like to be able to see that it's blue. The one problem that I find with this, one is one of the many LEDs went out, and I don't think you can replace them. But two, because it's that square, let's see, you really only have about that much to mess with. Now, of course, the further away you get, the more you can light, but you still have those angles, even if they are diffused. And, like I couldn't bathe myself in blue light entirely, I guess. And I want to bathe myself entirely in blue light. So there you go. Boom. I'm going to change the angle on this real quick. What's funny about all this, I say that I'm setting up for, the the live stream tomorrow, when in reality, when Ben and I do this, we usually do it the opposite way with a blank wall. I like the map. I like the map a lot. But, I don't know, is this kind of a weird angle, do you feel? I don't know. This is what it would look like, because we'll be sitting down. Let me grab a chair. Right. So it'll look something like this, obviously with a bit of an angle like so. Bam. It'll be like me hanging out over here. Ben hanging out over here. The world. The world. Yep. And this is pretty much it. This is, actually, this looks pretty good. I probably need to move that guy. This is my very ancient. I have no idea how old this is. I believe it's called a Comet. Yeah. Got a cool little logo here. It's called a Comet. But that's the brand. Oh, D Comet is what it is. And this thing is badass. Now, it's not as easy to use as newer tripods, like photography tripods. But the thing goes up really high, as you can see. The reason I have it this high is so that when I'm standing, it's pretty much at eye level. And, it's sturdy as fuck. Like, this thing is like, it's all metal all the time. Boom, boom, boom. All the little bits and pieces are metal. And you actually crank it up with this thing. Like, there's like these rivets and shit. It's like it was built like in the 60s or 70s or something. And the thing is just made to last. The problem is, if you want to change the height of it, like here, you've got to unscrew these deals. If you want to change the height of it here, you've got to crank it. Whereas newer, more contemporary tripods, you just pop a switch, whether it be plastic or metal, and you just and they'll even have like little gauges and shit. This ain't got any of that. This is like a big metal thing you could hit someone with, and I really like it. This boy here, this is the iLoon. This is actually an attachment. It does not come with this. In fact, I don't even know if you can get a Comet anymore. I found it. I have a feeling that my father, back in the day, acquired it. Regardless, this iLoon clamp, it's for a cell phone. Boop. And you might not think that's a big deal, but I've been through a couple of these types of things. This one's great. You pop your cell phone in there, you twist that biatch down like so, and you're good to go. It's quite sturdy. It's made of plastic, which, whatever. But it's a pretty sturdy plastic. Don't treat it like a bastard. It does have metallic parts, like the screw part is metal. Excellent. So there's far less chance that it's going to get, stripped. And also, try to maneuver around here. Also, the little wheels, while you have to wheel them down, here or here, these knobs are like big Haas fucking knobs. And you know how I love some Haas knobs. Anyway, yeah, so that's this boy. And I use that for my podcast. I'm going to move him out of the way, though. Put him way over here. Right. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be the setup for our Bad and my Bad. He was right here. Bad and my live cast tomorrow. Live cast or live stream? I don't know the difference. We're going to find out the difference real quick. Let me find that difference. We have a third viewer. Yay! Here's a light temperature. Live cast or live stream. I know there's a thing called a crowd cast, but I don't know. Doesn't look like there's any difference. How about what is live casting? It might be, casting might have something to do with like AirPlay, like when you have an iPhone or something, or Chromecast, where you have something on a device and you send it to another device. Maybe that's what a cast is, like cast spells. And a live stream would be what I'm doing. It's a stream of video or music or something. That's my definition, but live cast just sounds better. Live casting is the process of creating a three-dimensional copy of a living human body. Okay, that's not what I mean, all right? Yes, so I have an art degree. I know what a body cast is. You know, you get a cast because you break your arm or something. A live cast means, okay, yes. I'm talking about live casting technology. I better not be that wrong. That would be really. Webcast is a medium presentation distributed over the internet using streaming media technology to distribute a single content source to many simultaneous listening viewers. It's a webcast. It's a webcast. Okay, screen mirroring versus casting. Apparently that's different, and it gets really confusing. We'll get to that later someday. We'll get to it in like 5 seconds. What does this say? I can't read that. Svjojo var. Is that var? Varjenje. Varjenje. I miedak. I have no idea what that means, and I probably said it totally wrong. Anyway, so let's look up screen mirroring versus casting really fast. It's apparently super confusing. That looks like a butt. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Not telling me the answers. What would you like to contact us? That's the end of the web page. Did it tell me an answer? It didn't. You have to have these things. The answer is in the name, screen mirroring. Okay, so screen mirroring, I would assume is you have a screen, and then you put it on another screen, and it's the same. So then what is a cast? I didn't read that, I know. Casting doesn't have such an obvious meaning since this word can be used in many other situations. Casting means transmitting sound and images in real time via the internet. That's interesting. Okay, certain apps like Netflix or YouTube let you cast videos from your phone directly to a big screen. Interesting. So, okay. So screen mirroring is when whatever is on my phone, I'm mirroring that, I'm putting that onto another device that you can see. So whatever I'm doing occurs, right? I guess in a way, with this little box down here showing the web, I'm screen mirroring? Maybe? Or is that casting? I think that's mirroring. Well, this is a mirror. I'll show you. Display capture, that's a mirror. That I know. Because whatever's happening on my screen is happening right there. You're looking at my mouse, you're looking exactly about what's going on my screen. That is mirroring. And I guess this guy over here that I'm closing and opening, I guess that's, I don't think that's considered casting because it's on my computer and I'm just piping it through OBS the streaming software. If I have an app on my phone, let's say YouTube, and I'm playing a video on it, and I cast it onto a TV, that is not screen mirroring, because if I go off of YouTube, it's not like my phone will show up, on the TV. If I was screen mirroring, it would. Kaboom! That's the difference. Thank you, Internet. Anyway, what am I doing right now? I'm live streaming. I want to call it live casting. Wow. I want to call it live casting, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it there. I'm not fucking with it. All right, ladies and gents, that's about all I got for today. I wanted to do a quick, a quickie. This is fun. Later on this week, actually, I will do this again on Monday. It'll be a discussion, as I've said before, with my buddy Bad. And we'll be talking about tabletop RPGs. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump on. Help us out. We're copy editing our book. This week I won't be doing a Wednesday, I don't think. But I will be doing a Thursday, Something Bunkin discussions. And the plan is to have have an actual guest. So it won't be talking about gaming necessarily, but it'll be talking about something else. And I'm not that way. And I'm not entirely sure what that'll be. When it's just the Podcast Angst, or perhaps Bitchcast, I don't know what they call this. I have made several topic lists. And I'm thinking what it's going to be is kind of like this. I'm going to have some topics that I find interesting, probably that piss me the fuck off. And I'm going to chat about them. Throw in some references on the YouTube as I go, because I'm wrong a lot and don't know much. And if people want to jump on and chat, that'd be excellent, because I think it's good stuff. It's what I think about. All right. Until tomorrow, I will see you all in space, or whatever.